Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for our seventh LaunchPad session this evening. LaunchPad, as you know, is a program, an 8-week program that is targeted to helping our level 1 associates complete their portfolio requirements. Each one of the sessions corresponds to one of the 8 requirements for your portfolio. So this evening, we are very excited and very honored to have Patrick Gorman from Arrowwood Golf Course in Oceanside joining us to talk about cart fleet management. Patrick is a level 1 associate himself, so he can definitely relate to what you guys are going through on this. And he is, a competitive golfer coming up through the junior ranks. Played AJGA, did the Toyota Tour Toyota Cup on it, played collegiate golf at Palomar, and then went over to Cal State San Marcos, and then has been at Arrowwood, I think, for about 5 years, if that's right, Patrick.
Yeah, almost 5 years.
And so Patrick is, continues to play competitively. He started in the cart barn, worked his way up. So cart fleet management is kind of maybe something that he knows quite well because he did it for quite a long time, but he's worked up from that. So we're very excited and very honored to have Patrick with us this evening. Just as an FYI, we want this session to be as interactive as possible. For those of you who've been on the sessions before, it is we want you to interject, ask him his questions. I think we have a unique opportunity here with Patrick as a level 1 associate who is, working through his portfolio as we speak. So it's a unique opportunity. So ask him questions, interject, what have you. We want to make this as best we can for that. So without further ado, I'm just going to turn it over to Patrick. And Patrick, thank you again so much for being here this evening.
Oh, thank you. Welcome everyone to Cart Fleet Management. Let's dive in. So a little bit about me, a little background. My name is Patrick Gorman. I'm a level 1 PGA associate, just like you guys. I grew up in Southern California playing junior tournaments all over, SCPGA Junior Tour, Toyota Tour Cup, all that fun stuff. Played collegiately until I joined the PGM program. During COVID is when I decided to focus on the management side of golf operations. And then that's when I decided to enroll into the program. I'm currently the first assistant golf professional at Arrowwood Golf Course in Oceanside, and you can also find me teaching and coaching for PGA Junior League and PGA Hope. First off, I just want to give a couple of thank yous and shout outs to Tom Parker, John Kulo, and SCPGA for having me on the LaunchPad. I hope to motivate more young talent into the golf industry and to join the program. Big thank you to our very own SCPGA board member, Tom Sun, just for being an amazing mentor and role model in my career. Also to my assistant general manager and newly SCPGA board member, Nikki Pritchard, and to my director of golf, Aaron Castillo, who, they've guided me down the path and completed the program and even presented in previous LaunchPad series. So I'm definitely in good hands. I wouldn't be in the position I'm in today without all the help I've had during my time in the program and from peers in the section. I'm just like you guys, striving to become a PGA member. I've worked in the cart barn, the pro shop, managed the outside services department. I've been very blessed to be put in a position I'm in today to help lead others in this industry we're all passionate about. All right. So some key takeaways for today. Here are the learning outcomes for cart fleet management. I'll go through them with you guys. Understand the importance of a golf cart to the customer, the golf professional, and the facility. utilize policies and procedures necessary for the operation of a safe and efficient golf cart program. Know the characteristics of a well-managed golf cart fleet. Evaluate the components and potential benefits of an effective maintenance program and a proper storage facility. Determine golf cart needs in order to acquire a fleet that supports the facility's mission, customers, and physical characteristics. Project fleet revenue, costs, profit, and identify how budgeting changes will impact the bottom line. Evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of lease purchase options and to determine the optimal rental fees. I know cart fleet management might make you believe it's just the typical cart barn portion of the PGM program, but the cart fleet is typically one of the biggest and most expensive assets to any course. Everyone must stay on top of their cart fleet to run a successful operation. So I've divided this into two halves. The first half we'll go over some key tips for a successful cart fleet, the impact it has on the course and your employees. Second half will be probably what you guys are all here for, the portfolio bookwork portion of it, where you're going to be interviewing a cart fleet supervisor and creating checklists, procedures, and a financial summary. A brief little introduction about the cart fleet. Approximately 1 million golf carts in the US, generating $1 billion in revenue. In the 1950s, only about 40% of facilities had golf carts compared to virtually every facility today. I couldn't tell you the last, any course I've been to where they haven't had a golf cart or access for your personal cart to go onto the course. There's three main golf cart manufacturers: E-Z-Go, Club Car, and Yamaha. I'm sure everyone has driven in at least one of these once before. They all do the same job. Provide a great opportunity for facilities and professionals to create revenue. This could be extra revenue on top of your existing green fees, whether it's a mandatory cart fee or a spectator fee. And its importance of an efficient, functional cart fleet. Two main reasons that they're important to me. Number one, safety. You don't want any dead carts out on the course, any ones that have bad maintenance out there. And two, being customer service. This is a service industry. Golf cart typically stays with the customer majority of the time they're at your facility. Make it count. The first impression matters. It keeps them coming back time and time again. All right, so now we get into the keys to having a successful cart fleet at your facility. Having a successful cart fleet means the fleet will satisfy the needs of the customer as well as the vision of the facility. First off, you want to choose the correct cart fleet. Gas prices versus electricity bills. This is do you want gas? Do you want electric? We have electric carts. We have the charging set for off-peak hours to save on electricity expenses. You can go different routes with batteries. You can get the new lithium batteries or the old school batteries. I've worked with both. Lithium is definitely easier than filling up those old school batteries with water. Lease versus buy. You want to make sure if you do go the gas route, how much is gas in your area? We are electric because gas is too expensive. Do you guys have a gas pump on site? Is there a local gas station close by? Work trucks, your range pickers, your beverage carts are typically always gas. So you're going to have some type of gas no matter what. And then what's your budget for if you want to lease it versus buying it? Can your course afford to buy a new fleet? Leasing is usually a lower bill. Possibly you can buy an old fleet from other courses or or buy a new fleet and sell it back to the manufacturer. We sign a lease with Club Car because that's what fits our budget the best. Size of fleet in line with demand.
Hey, Patrick, just a question.
Mhm.
And Michael and Lance, welcome back, guys. Does anybody out there do gas? I've only really seen electric for so many years. Anybody do gas?
I've only been to the 2 or 3 golf courses that actually had golf carts that were gas, and it was all on the East Coast in like North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Patrick, you're right. Gas charges here in California and Southern California are quite high versus maybe Midwest or East. But
Mhm.
I just haven't really experienced. So I was interested if anybody had done that. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, in all of San Diego, I don't know of a course that has gas carts. But I know they're out there, but yeah, size of the fleet, that can matter. Gas, if you have a smaller fleet, the gas would be probably a better route. But if you have a big fleet, or if you have a multiple 18 holes, or if you have 36 holes, you're gonna probably want those electric carts. All right. So size of fleet in line with demand for cart rentals. Um, how many carts does your facility need? Yeah. How many holes does your course have? What's your average pace of play? That all takes part of it. Typically, I would say most courses have around 80 to maybe 100 carts, which is pretty standard for an 18-hole facility. We have 80, another 10 probably wouldn't hurt, but we make do just fine with what we have. And then cart amenities, the fun part. How do you want your cart to look? GPSs, ball club washers, coolers, sand bottles, Bluetooth speakers, seat wheel options, you name it. These visual amenities are all appealing to the customer. One amenity that I think is pretty crucial in having an efficient cart fleet would be the GPS. We have Visage on our GPS, so we're able to track and control carts out on the course. So we can shut down certain areas of the course. We're able to track pace of play and message notify carts whenever we want. Next, you're going to want to price the fleet properly. This is where you're going to analyze the competition. Raymond, you got a question?
Real quick about the GPS, do you have any issues with coverage in certain areas?
No, I think typically, if there's a GPS that goes down, there might be just like a faulty wire, but typically out on the course, the GPSs are running smooth.
Raymond, do you have trouble with the satellite coverage at your facility?
No, but my question stems from we are about to introduce a new cart fleet in the next couple months, and we're due to get GPS. And our issue is we're in a bit of a valley, and we're worried about coverage, and we're worried about introducing a GPS fleet to a membership that is not used to them and the hiccups that might come with that.
Are you at a private or a public daily fee facility?
I'm in a private, sir.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know I've worked at and Patrick, you probably have as well, and Michael as well, and others. But working at a private facility, lots of times we said, yeah, we don't want GPS because our members already know yardages and they know where they're going to hit it and they know what clubs they're going to hit and all that kind of stuff. The other side, the flip side of that is, well, we wanted it because we want to know pace of play. We want to know, who's, not going for it and who's going into the no play zone, area and who's not and all that kind of stuff. So, it was kind of a flip side, issue on that. So Raymond, yeah, I mean, depending on, your locale and whatever you can do from satellite coverage, yeah, that might be an issue.
Mhm.
We're going to be starting on. Oh, sorry.
Raymond, do you have fiber out at your course, or is the internet typically pretty good out there?
I apologize for not knowing all the details of our internet, but I know it is spotty. Even the local Wi-Fi that people will log in to do their daily business when they're at the club
Mhm.
is intermittent, and it has something to do with, I believe, the provider resetting the IP addresses constantly. And I mean, full disclosure, we're in Valley and Rancho Santa Fe,
Mhm.
and Wi-Fi and cellular service for even neighbors with limitless means, they can only provide so much. So, you
Mhm.
know, we're just anxious, to be quite honest, and we want to switch over to the GPS, and a lot of it comes into course maintenance as much as we can, provide a good level of course maintenance for the people. It's, people infringing on the areas where we'd like to block it off. So, and it's interesting, yeah, that you would bring it up. So yeah, I'm just fascinated by it.
Yeah, I would say, the more people you have on your Wi-Fi doesn't help, but I would definitely recommend getting those GPSs just because, you're able to, track pace of play, maintenance on the course, you can set cart path only a lot easier. It's definitely, a bonus, but, I can see where, the internet being spotty could be a problem.
We're getting we're going to be getting new carts at our course as well, and the membership's been pushing for GPS.
Mhm.
Just because it'll help us, like you guys said, we're going to be doing geo fencing. I don't know if you guys do that, to where we can stop people from going certain areas. And then another thing is we have a lot of outside tournament, so I think
Mhm.
it might help us to put names on carts for people to
Yeah.
see, and like local rules for that day. I think it would help us get that information out there instead of having to print out stuff every single tournament
Right.
and like art stock. And so I think it's going to help us out. We have one more year in our lease,
Mhm.
so we still got a little bit to go, but I think it's going to help us out a lot with all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Even you can have advertisement on these GPSs, and that could help pay off, the fees for the visage or for your GPS. Definitely worth it, but check your budget, see if it's right for your course.
Yeah, I know, Michael, I really like the fact that you could put maybe, you know, conditions of competition, the TOCs and stuff up on a screen in front of them versus, printing it out, which they won't read anyway, da, da, da. So I like that. That's a really, I didn't even think about that. That's a really good suggestion.
Yeah, it would save us some like just time, because we spend so much time printing everything through Golf Genius. We're going up to the printer, getting cardstock, cutting it, putting it in. And if it's something that can help us take time away from that and put it towards other stuff and be able to change things on the go, let people know that they're playing slow, or I think there's a lot of benefits to it. And I think that for the outside tournament, at least for me, because I run all the Monday tournaments and outside ones, that's something that I can see really will help us.
Yeah, I mean, it helps our course out a ton. I honestly, I couldn't imagine life without it. So if that helps you make a little bit better answer, um, I would definitely hop on board with the GPS units on your carts. Um, all right, so let's keep going. So when you're pricing the fleet properly, you want to analyze the competition. What are nearby courses charging? What kind of shape is their fleet in? Um, you know, then you're going to get into pricing sensitivity. Is your cart included with your greens fees, or is it a separate charge? We include it in our greens fee as a mandatory cart fee, but then you consider, is it a cart fee that's split between golfers? Is it a separate charge? Um, for us, a shared cart's included with their tee time. So we also offer cart fees, which if they wanted to be a single rider, it would be a $10 cart fee, or even for spectators if they wanted to bring someone out onto the course. On a regular day, it would be $20, and on a tournament day, we charge 40 just due to the demand for the golf carts. Next, we'll get into responsibilities. Who's in charge of keeping the carts clean? My outside service staff will clean every cart after every use and at the end of every night. If it helps, create a detailing schedule, whether that's every week or bi-weekly. You want those carts looking brand new out there every day. Next would be make sure your cart staff understands the cart rotation schedule and the importance of it. So, whether it be in a color coding or a number rotation, you want all these carts to have a similar mileage on all carts in the fleet. For us, we created a calendar, and I have it posted in the barn with the different color rows every day. That way our openers know which color's next, and we have a consistent rotation. Who is responsible for basic maintenance on the carts? Is there a maintenance contract, or does the facility employ someone? Maintenance packages are offered by cart companies. They're definitely on the pricier end of it. For us, we're lucky enough. We have a personal mechanic that's a part of our maintenance team. This definitely helps, if we need any emergency fixes or a quick fix to get that cart back out onto the course. It's definitely hurting the operation when you have a cart down, and especially for multiple days. How are broken or inoperable carts reported to the golf professionals or mechanics? For us, we have a whiteboard in the cart barn where we track daily maintenance on all our carts. From there, we will send a end of the day report to our team, going over any of the maintenance needed or any other need to knows from the day and daily operations. It's key to communicate and have a good relationship with your cart technician. Have them out there to look at your fleet, and if you guys have someone in-house that can fix these carts, that all helps. All right, next you're going to want your staff to be trained to be knowledgeable about the fleet and have clear policies and procedures pertaining to the cart fleet. Rental policies, who can rent, and operating rules, rental agreements, who can take a cart out. I'm sure across the board, everyone's probably the same with over 16 with a driver's license. When you book a tee time with us, you're agreeing to our rental agreement. Next would be your safety procedures. This is where that Visage can come in handy big time on the GPS. You can, where can the carts go, and how do you enforce these policies? We don't allow carts in the parking lot just because it's a huge liability issue. We can keep carts away from tee boxes or greens, just that way it keeps the course in better shape. We also have set speed limit zones in heavy traffic areas up by the restaurant and golf shop, and that has definitely prevented a lot of accidents from happening. But if there is accident reporting, most likely they've contacted the golf shop to report the accident. Whoever's your scheduled manager on duty will typically tend to the issue, but you definitely want to train your staff on the procedures. And if something happens, if no one can get out to them, they got to be able to handle it. For my team, I have my team doing CMAA monthly trainings out there every month. If there is an accident to happen, a couple of things you should do is create and fill out an accident form, and most importantly, ask if they need medical assistance. After you do that, you take your pictures, get the customer's information and make sure he's doing all right. And if he needs any medical services, we'll get him out to to the hospital or to you know, the ER, whichever is needed. Yeah, Raymond.
Hey, I recently had my crew CPR training. You just mentioned what was the training that your gentlemen have?
So CMAA training, and that's funny you brought that up. Last month, my team did CPR training. You know, hopefully they never have to use that out on the course, but you know, CMAA, you know, has tons of different trainings for them to go through, whether that's customer service or you know accident reporting. It's definitely a big tool in having a successful, you know, operation and having your team trained.
And just to get it right, I'm saying CMAA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect, thank
basically,
you.
sorry, this is Tom. CMAA stands for Club Managers Association of America, CMAA. What we've done at Arrowwood, as Pat rightly pointed out, we want to provide monthly training for every employee. And we thought the most efficient way to do that is through CMAA. I'm a member of CMAA, and CMAA basically it's an association like PGA. It's where all the hospitality club hospitality employees join, especially the mid to senior leaders, and they have tons of online training available where you know, like as Pat said, CPR. I mean, there's how many trainings are available, Pat? There's a lot, right?
There's thousands. I mean, you name it. Anything you just type something in, there's a training for it.
And then Pat and the outside supervisor decide the training of the month, and every employee within outside services is required to attend online training through CMAA, and it's a great way for us to efficiently train our employees on a monthly basis on different agenda every month.
Thank you both. What a valuable resource.
Yes, definitely. I would look into having it at your course. Ever since we brought it on board, you know, I would say our staff is doing 10 times better, you know, and it could be from, you know, it doesn't even have to be the cart barn, it could be your whole staff. So, you know, going from the pro shop to your maintenance guys to your food and beverage services, you know, all of them can use it and they'll definitely benefit from it. All right. All right, so now into the fun part that I'm sure you guys were all waiting for was the activity one. This is where you're going to be analyzing fleet policies, procedures, and financial performances. This portion, you're going to be interviewing a golf professional that oversees a golf fleet. This is where you're going to want to fill out all the facilities information, like how many carts, how many holes does your course have. You're going to want to go over all the documents and procedures their operation uses during your interview, whether that's schedules, checklists, invoices, bills, you name it. All of it's going to help add everything in there that you can, you know, the more the merrier. After that, you're going to want to kind of provide a brief paragraph for each of the following topics. Describe facility fleet operations. Describe the responsibilities of the fleet manager. What does your fleet manager oversee? What does your daily fleet operations entail? All of these answers will help you create your checklists down the line. Describe maintenance, cleaning procedures, and daily checklists. What do your checklists look like? We'll go over ours at Arrowwood, our daily and weekly personal checklists in a couple slides, but on the maintenance side of things, we send a weekly report to our club car tech, and they'll come out if we need them, or if we have a couple carts down that need attention. You know, typically every other week they'll come out to do routine maintenance. And then safety. Describe any safety checks or weekly checklists. Safety, our openers will do a safety check on all carts when staging them in the morning. And then I'm sure if you guys haven't already, Moments of Truth is big in the portfolio in level 1. So you're going to want to ask yourself, are the carts clean? Do they look good or bad? Will they die on the course, or do the GPS units work? Like I said earlier, the golf cart stays with the customer majority of the time. They're at your course. You want to make sure it's clean and make sure they don't get a dirty cart. Trust me, that's the last thing you're gonna want. And then activity 1 continued. This is where you're gonna have a brief description of strengths, weaknesses, or recommendations, staff size, organization, and training methods. Staff size,
Hey, Patrick.
yeah,
Hey, sorry to interrupt.
yeah.
For the guys that are out there that are
Mhm.
at private facilities, Michael, Lance, I'm not quite sure where you're at, but I know that, for me at PGA West, we had 98% of our members had their personal carts. And then, so, we didn't have GPS from that standpoint, but we had to manage their personal carts, and whether their personal carts were going into the wrong area where we were managing pace of play, or, whether the cart died and, we had to then provide a cart fleet, one as a replacement kind of stuff. Do any of you guys out there have any of that issue of personal carts with trail fees versus, a cart fleet?
Yeah, Raymond.
Hey, my question is, as far as personal cards, do you guys, as far as restrictions, any kind of criteria you had for a person operating a personal cart on your course?
Yeah, so for us, we don't allow personal carts out onto our course. We just make it plain and simple. We stick to our cart fleet from Club Car. There is a lot of people in our community that have personal carts. They're just not able to take it out onto the course. And that's a liability issue. They're having their own their cart out there. You don't know, and you can't track it on the GPS.
Yeah, no, Raymond, you're correct, or Patrick, you're correct on that. For us at PGA West, I mean, again, everybody lived along the courses. We had 3 private courses, and they lived along that. And we had all the issues you would assume. The person that lives on the 6th hole just goes out and starts on 6 and go,
Yeah.
and you don't know that he's out there and all that. We're charging them something, as a trail fee, but we didn't have, as Patrick said, we didn't have control over liability, safety, pace of play, any of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, yes, I totally understand that guys want to have their personal carts, and they want to have their boom boxes on it, and they want to have, their fluffy things on the back and all that, whatever. But, personally, it caused us a lot more trouble than it was, my opinion, worth, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you can do without the personal carts, that's the route I would go. Yeah, Raymond.
And just to follow up, so some of the courses in our area, because we live, we have communities where obviously golf carts are legal in the community. They have a sticker or a possible checkoff list. What happens at our facility is we have people that have street legal carts that have knobby wheels that can exceed 25 miles per hour. And they expect to use these carts on our golf course, which the wear and tear on the grass and sod is, and if anyone had any kind of criteria on which they checked off these carts or were allowing, outside carts.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, Raymond, I mean, everybody that was, again, we were private. So everybody that wanted to play our course as a member had to have their cart approved by our cart barn. So we couldn't have those kinds of wheels and all that kind of stuff. But if you don't have that in place, yes, you're right. That's an issue.
Thank you. Yeah, it's some kind of approval for these golf carts.
Definitely. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Correct, Raymond. Yep.
Yeah, you don't want the fast carts going out tearing up all the grass and your maintenance team, yelling at you for why are these carts, tearing up the course. And that's why you can set the speed limits and have speed restrictions on the carts that come from the manufacturers, or if you have the visage and the GPS units. All right, I'll continue. Staff size and organization and trainings. Do you have enough staff? Is there trouble filling shifts? That would be a weakness. Like I said earlier, I have my team do monthly trainings, and that's a strength. Yesterday we had our monthly cart barn meeting, and after I had them all stay to help clean out our storage rooms to get ready for the busy summer. And then next, you're going to get into your golf car rental policies and procedures. The rental policy, do you have one? Is it enforced? Rental agreements are important in case of any accidents or incidents. When they book a tee time online, they're agreeing to our terms for our cart. Golf cart rotation and storage. Like I said, keep a consistent rotation. That's why that calendar is key. And then what's kept in the barn for storage? We have our rental clubs in our storage room. So I have my guys, they're tracking these clubs daily. Safety measures and accident procedures. This is something all courses can do a better job with. You want to make sure we attend to the customer's needs. You definitely don't want any accidents out there, but you want to be prepared if there is. Maintenance and malfunction procedures. For maintenance, when you go out, you always swap the cart out. Don't try to fix it in front of the customer. That will leave a bad taste. And then also, don't just bring the cart back to the barn and forget about it. Have a plan, execute it, and then communicate it to your manager. And that goes straight into record keeping practices. Any failure logs or records, what we do is I would keep a running Excel sheet. The more information you have for your cart technician is better. And for activity 1A and 1B, this is where you're going to want to upload a daily checklist and a weekly checklist for your cart fleet and for your cart barn. Daily consists of collecting trash, filling sand containers, replacing scorecards and pencils, parking the carts in color number coded order. And at the end of the night, you want to make sure they're locking the doors and setting the alarm. Weekly could be anything from, checking the batteries, drain and clean ball washers, detail the windshields, check tire pressure, check the struts, alignments, even check your alarm, make sure that's working efficiently. You don't want anyone breaking into your barn where, those carts are worth a lot of money. You want to make sure everything's working efficiently. Here I've attached our checklist, our closing checklist, and our weekly cart barn cleanup. This is what my outside service team must follow every night. I'll let you guys kind of browse through it. Having checklists will help keep your team held accountable. But cart barn cleanup could be a weekly, a monthly, or any downtime activity for your team. Does anyone out there have a checklist for their course already for their barn guys? Or, have you thought about creating one to make it a little more efficient out there?
Lance, you guys do it over there? I know, Michael, you do, but Lance, do you guys do it over there?
No, I don't have any experience with the cart bond. Sorry about that.
Okay. Raymond, how about you guys? You know,
Well, I just took a photo of this page because it's more of a verbal, and I need to hold my boys or my staff more accountable. And something black and white, like this is what is expected, and will, I think, definitely behoove us in the future as we're moving forward and training new members and what have you.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks, you know, Raymond, for that. Duncan, what do you think, man?
I am a coworker of Patrick's, so I am definitely familiar with this list. And I started off my career in the cart barn myself, so doing this kind of thing at a private club and a public club, it's kind of just always been a requirement alongside my other duties in the barn.
Okay, Duncan. So after this call, I'm going to call you back so you can tell me all the bad stuff about Patrick. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he knows all about it, and I'm sure he can hold some stuff against me too. But you know, you're gonna have to create a checklist regardless for the portfolio. So this is you know, kind of your basic checklist, but you know, it's straight to the point, and all my guys know this is what's required. And all right, activity 1C, the last portion of the activities, and probably one of the more tricky sides of it, is your financial summary. A couple of things. One, you're gonna want to find out if it's a purchase fleet versus a lease. Two, you're gonna want to estimate your yearly numbers, for your yearly total. For me, you know, don't worry about the math. The Excel sheet will populate the numbers for you. You know, I'm no math wizard, but it'll definitely kind of walk you through it and definitely help you. So, but if you do need more help, I would definitely reach out to your finance manager or your head pro or even your general manager. They're going to help you, you know, go over your revenues and your expenses. You know, you're going to want to track your yearly revenues. This way you can see if you are losing out on any revenue or gaining revenue from your cart fleet. Expenses, it's important to see how much expenses are versus your revenue. And that could be anything from a lease payment, you know, charging gas bill, supervisor pay or cart barn attendant pay, your payroll, or indirect labor, whether that's the cart technician from Club Car or your mechanic from maintenance. And then any other miscellaneous items, whether that being like towels, cleaning supplies, the lights, the alarm system, water usage, all that adds up into your expenses. Then you will get to your total for your net income for your cart fleet, and you'll see if you're making money or if you need to, you know, budget better, and you'll be good to submit it. And after that, you've completed the cart fleet management portion of the portfolio. Is there any questions from anyone out there?
Could you go over some of the metrics that are displayed in this slide, please?
Yeah, of course. So this is where you're going to want to estimate how many, you know, rounds per year you're getting. Like for our course, we're getting 69 thousand for the year. So, you know, and then, you know, carts per round. Typically these carts are going out twice a day. So, you know, you're gonna want to double that. And then your cart rental fee, that's going to be the cart fees that are included. And then the number of carts in your fleet. And then you'll go over kind of you know, what you're agreed on with your lease or your purchase, you know, the purchase price or the value that it'll be in 4 years. This is where getting with your finance manager or even, you know, your head pro will definitely help you getting these totals, because I'm sure most of you guys, you're either not in charge of doing the payments or you don't know the number side of things. So that's definitely the hard part. But you want to backtrack recent years, see what you were doing previous years, and get the totals and compare.
Hey, Michael,
Yeah.
yeah, doing outside events on Mondays, do you just like, does everything just get bundled into the cost to that client, Costco, Sam's Club, whatever, whoever it is? Is that what it is?
Yeah, everything I have no like I don't do any of that stuff. That's all done through our upstairs, and then but I think everything is just bundled into their cost for the tournament.
Yeah, that,
But
that,
I don't do any of the that kind of stuff with them. Like we have our own thing downstairs, but upstairs does all the costs for that for all the tournaments.
yeah, that's what I would expect, on that for a Monday event, for an outside event, for, your club championship or whatever, you'd have a different thing, but that's what I would
Right.
expect. But,
I do have one question though. Well, maybe two.
Mhm.
There's kind of been an emergence with not at our course because we don't allow them, but with like electric skateboards that are able to carry bags, and then there's that bike that does it. Do you guys have that? Probably not. If not, is there like a demand for that at a private club for you guys? Have you guys seen any of that?
Michael, yeah, we have at PGA West. Yes, there are, several issues with it. You said it correctly, the skateboardish kind of thing, because they have to go through a training, because when they go side hill versus not on it, and we don't want them falling over, we have a liability issue, a safety issue, all of that. So they have to go through that. But yeah, we actually have, I want to say 7 of those available. Nobody has them privately that we have as any of our members. But yeah, we have 7 available. I think 7, maybe 6. But and it is, getting more popular on that. But there are a lot of issues, mostly liability and safety issues with it.
I've used both at La Prisima up towards Santa Barbara. It's one of my favorite courses. But they have them there, and they're fun. But I mean, honestly, they just made us sign a waiver. They didn't give us any training. I'm pretty athletic. Like I ride a motorcycle every single day. I used to skate, so for me it wasn't that hard. But I can see for some guy that's with this kid that's trying to keep up with them and wants to go out with them, I can see that being a huge liability issue.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty hilly course too. So
Yeah, that's a definitely
them,
a course.
yeah, I've played it a few times, and I wouldn't risk someone out there with a skateboard cart. It's not an easy walk, but just have them hop in a cart. We don't have those because we're a public course, but I've definitely played a bunch of private courses that I've had them, and I've used them before. Every course is different. I've had to sign a waiver before. I actually haven't had to do any training on it or like a trial, but they're definitely getting popular, and they're definitely probably going to be more at more courses going forward. Did you have another question for me, or was that was?
Oh, sorry, that was it. My bad.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you guys at the private courses would probably know a little bit better than me, but just because of the safety and the liability issue, stay away from them if you can. If not, you're kind of opening a can of worms that you don't want to have. So
I mean, I think they're coming. I think it's, people, the younger, I'm old, but the younger old folks are going to want to do this. The athletic old, Michael's much more athletic than me, but whatever. Yeah, I think it's coming, and it's, we're just going to go have a policy that says that If you haven't done it before, then you have to go through a 15-minute training side so you know how to turn, you know how to do it, you know how to stop, you know how to go on a side hill, not side hill, whatever. You know, for us, it's 15 minutes. That's probably nowhere near enough amount of time to do it, but you know, we'll get there.
Awesome. Yeah. So this last slide, I put an example at least of what a cart fleet would look like to give you guys an idea of what it entails. I know this was kind of the shorter portion of the level 1 portfolio, but it's definitely an important one. And that's pretty much it for cart fleet management. If there's any other questions, I'd feel happy to answer them for you guys.
Any questions out there, guys? All right, Pat, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us, and the best of luck as you complete level 1 and go forward with that. So on that regard, one final thing, and the folks that have been on these calls before will know what I'm going to talk about, is definitely we have resources available to level 1 associates. You know, Pat, you know, has the real benefit of being with Tom Sun, Nikki Pritchard, Aaron Castillo, and the like at Arrowwood, and have a lot of good mentors. But for the rest of us out there, we have a mentorship program that Tom Sun has created, and for each of the you know, the chapters, the 5 chapters: Desert, Inland Empire, you know, San Diego, Northern, and I'm missing the 5th one, but they're, you know, Metro chapter. Each chapter has a designated mentor representative that if any of us want to get in touch with those guys, you know, get in touch with them, they will then pair you up with a PGA professional that will help you through the program. And then it's not just helping you through level 1. I was lucky enough to have Tom Sun and John Kulo as my mentors, and they helped me through the entire program and still help me through this. So it's a lifelong kind of thing. So, so we have those resources available. If you need to get in contact with any of those resources, you know, please reach out to me. Please reach out to Pat. Please reach out to, you know, to Tom Sun. Any of us, we're always willing to help out and get you in contact with folks that can help you. So with that, Tom Sun, do you want to say anything?
Yes, thank you, TP, and thank you, Pat. We work together, so we know each other well, but it was a great presentation with all the details that are necessary for cart fleet management. At Arrowwood, we did over 75,000 rounds last year. So carts are of the most important paramount for our daily operations. And it's critical that we take care of our carts the best we can. And obviously, as presented by Pat and his team, they do a great job of taking care of our carts on a daily basis. So it's a big part of the experience for each guest who pay money to play golf at Arrowwood. So so we do our best we can. And new fleet is coming for us next year. I'm excited about that. But again, as TP mentioned, we're here for you, all the associates in level 1. Pat's in level 1. I've been kicking his butt to get level 1 completed as soon as possible. It's a grind. We understand it, but we're here for you. Ultimately, though, we're here for you, but you have to do the work, and it's up to you to get it done. And how do you encourage you to get it done? Spend 2-3 hours a week every week. The next thing you know, you'll be on to level 2. So please stay focused, and look forward to all of you becoming graduating from level 1, become level 2 in the near future. Thank you. We have one more week left, I think. Is that right? TP next week? And then next
We did.
week's our first spring session.
Yeah, we do. We have one more week next week. Brianna, again, is going to talk about player development next Monday.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for everything, TP and Pat, for today's presentation.
Yeah, thank you guys for attending. It means a lot.
Any other questions before we close it out?
It was a great interactive session today. It was great. I mean, asking a lot of questions, and I enjoyed it as well and learned a lot as myself. And so, thanks for everyone being on the call today, and look forward to seeing you guys on the call next week.
Okay. Thanks so
Yeah,
much,
thank you.
everyone. Patrick, thank you again. Awesome job. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Tom. And Tom.
Bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye, everyone.